Yes, folks, Andrew Bolt called Greta Thunberg the holy fool of the global warming religion, and he's absolutely correct there. And believe me, folks, she will get a Nobel Peace Prize simply because the left always require child messiahs to propagandize their agendas. Can you remember Malala Yousafzai?
I'm proud, but in fact I'm very proud to be the first Pashtun, the first Pakistani, and the youngest person to receive this award. Along with that, I'm pretty certain that I'm also the first recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize who still fights with her younger brothers.
Folks, you might remember her. She was the girl from Pakistan who was shot when she was 12 by the Taliban. And since then, she's been the messiah for female education. But the irony here, folks, is this. While the left support her, and rightfully so, they also support Muslim men who want to oppress women like her. So now, folks, let's listen to what Andrew Bolt has to say.
Now, when I say that global warming is a religion, not a science, let me give you a couple of incredible examples just from the last few days. One is the so-called Extinction Rebellion by global warming alarmists that has closed down parts of London for 8 days already and had police arrest more than 1,000 people. Protesters are staging die-ins as if humans face extinction any day. In fact, some students protested at Heathrow Airport asking if they were the last generation, as if humanity will be wiped out in just 20 years.
We are the youth that will do what is right. We are the youth that will fight for our rights. Extinction! Rebellion! Extinction!
Utterly insane. There is not even the slightest evidence that humans are going to be wiped out in 20 years, or in 200 years for that matter. This is not science talking. It's just, that old religious cry of repent, for the end of the world is nigh. And here's another religious trope, and one that I mentioned briefly last night. In Christianity, especially in the Russian church, there is a figure called the Holy Fool, someone who acts or sounds like a fool, mentally not quite well, but nevertheless believed to be divinely inspired. You get it in mythology too, Parsifal, the Holy Fool. Well, today, Greta Thunberg is the holy fool of the global warming religion. She is now just 16 and says that she has several mental problems, including an obsessive compulsive disorder and Asperger's. But she says that has somehow made her see more clearly.
If I didn't have Asperger's and I wasn't so strange,
jag inte hade haft Asperger och varit så konstig så hade jag fastnat
I would have been stuck in this social game
i det här sociala spelet
that everyone else seems
som alla andra verkar vara så förtjusta i.
to be infatuated with.
Och men
Thunberg now preaches an incredibly exaggerated and uncompromising vision of global warming. Again, way beyond what any credible science suggests. Yet, is treated by adults like a prophet, divinely inspired, like a holy fool. That's why she was last week asked to instruct the Pope.
Thank you for standing up for the climate and for speaking the truth.
for standing up for the climate. truth.
She's also preached at the European Parliament.
Now listen closely here, folks.
Around the year 2030, 10 years, 259 days and 10 hours away from now, we will be in a position where we set off an irreversible chain reaction that will most likely lead to the end of our civilization as we know it.
Ah, dear. Those words were exactly the same, or almost exactly the same, as Ocasio-Cortez said with her Green New Deal.
On it goes. She's also lectured the United Nations Secretary General.
Why should I be studying for a future that soon may be no more, when no one is doing anything to save that future? And what is the point of learning facts when the most important facts clearly means nothing to our society?
Thunberg has also addressed the business and political elite, the very cream, at the World Economic Forum in Davos.
Some people, some companies, some
Look, folks, look at all these adults here hanging on every word she says.
decision makers in particular have known exactly what priceless values they have been sacrificing to continue making unimaginable amounts of money. And I think many of you here today belong to that group of people.
Thunberg was also invited to threaten the United Nations Climate Conference last year in Poland.
We have come here to let you know that change is coming, whether you like it or not. The real power belongs to the people.
Oh, the power belongs to the people. They are very, very deep words.
Thank you.
And as I showed you last night, she was also at that Extinction Rebellion in London addressing the protesters, who gave her a huge round of applause too. This is deranged. It is frightening. I mean, here is an apparently disturbed girl with apocalyptic visions being treated like an oracle by adults, even world leaders who seem to have lost their senses completely. Heaven help us. A holy fool lectures the world. Children, school children, on strike here, telling politicians we face extinction and instructing adults who don't dare to defend reason. So then along comes Bill Shorten, offering his idiotic global warming plans, a fake fix to a fake climate crisis, without ever bothering to ask the cost or count the pain. But why should he reckons? Who in this hysteria is even going to ask the price?
Yes, who is going to ask the price? Ah, yes, folks. This global warming dogma is clearly a religion, and Greta Thunberg is the holy fool preaching it.